Amachimbos, this is your FIFA fan leader, Gerald, and welcome to Qatar. This is Pitch 7. This is where we're going to be playing Qatar. We will be here making very much noise for you guys. We hope to see you guys in the final. We will be there all your games until you get to the final, making noise until you win the finals, because we believe in you.
Kgotsong, ke le tsebisa ka buka ya ka e buang ka tsela yeo ke tsamaileng bophelong ba ka. Le tla utlwa ka mathata ao ke bileng le ona le katleho yeo ke e fihletseng. Hape le hore radio e nkahile jwang hore ke fetole bophelo ba ka. Takatso ya ka ke hore o fumane buka ena ya ka e tla fetola bophelo ba hao. Ya buang ke Dr. Chomani. Take it easy. Don't be shy.
Hello, everyone. We are back again. The show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution Sports Forum. It is myself, the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe. I'm joined by Pete Stira. That name, Pete, I started with an advert of a friend of mine called Chomani. It's a funny how did that name came about. I had this friend of mine, when I was a DJ, I was big, So there was this guy who was in the record companies. His name is Soli, okay? So he would come and say, hey, Mchan, can I get some one fast? That means the girl was beautiful. What a fun. So we knew him that Soli, and then they said, hey, Saubrey, today they was like, let me go grand. It's a one fast, bro. So that name came. So when I met Chomani in 2001, and then he was impressed by the book that I wrote, the first edition. Then he said, the following year, I wanted to be on my show every Thursday. He was big. Then I called him Walefatshe. Then he called me Walefatshe. So that's how that name came about. We are still friends. We talk a lot. I was with him the beginning of this year at his funeral parlor. He's doing well. I went to his parlor. I think it's worth more than 30-something million, according to my estimations. He's now very, very old, and then he's the guy who well, I've been on TV, if I remember quite well, from 88. 88, I've got the first shot of TV. And then, but in 2001, when Chomani introduced me to his radio show in 2002, that's when my name just blew up. Every station now called me. I'm talking to almost all of them. In fact, I can count a few stations that I never spoke on. I can count them. Power FM, I've never been there. Newsroom Africa, I've never been there. All these television stations, I've been there on them and stuff like that. So I don't remember where I come from. So to me, he's still a very good friend of mine. We still talk a lot. So he sent me this advert that I started with Waze. We spoke about it, writing a book, but I think he went ahead, which is quite good. I think it was a good thing to write down, because we need to document what we have done, and then for the generation coming, and people can learn a lot. So people should look out for the book very soon. It will be out, and then we talk from time to time, but yeah, that's how it came about. So Pete, welcome to the show. Greet the viewers.
Thanks, viewers. Welcome again. I hope you enjoyed the last show and going to enjoy this one as well.
Yeah, they did. According to the numbers, they did. I was quite impressed. And then look, we have a number of topics that we have to talk about. The main topic today that we want to touch on, of course, Messi special is always there. You'll tell us about Man City. Pirates fans are not happy with the coach. The coach says, guys, we are going to play too many games. So I don't want the players to suffer burnout. Now, worst part of it, when they play Sundowns, Mbule was not playing. The fans were, they were angry, very angry. Well, that Mbule is a star. You watch him, he's a star. I didn't believe it, Then I started watching him. No, he's great. He's a real gem, that boy. He changed the game. So he was not playing. So now the fans, I'm sure you read about that. So yeah. One, and then tell us about Amachita. How did they do in the World Cup?
They won 3-1, yeah. They beat Bolivia under 17s. Unfortunately, we had a player sent off. I can't remember the young boy's name there. It was actually a very bad tackle. Initially, it was a yellow card, and then under review there from the VAR, they actually changed that to a red card, which if the guys watch it, I think they'll agree with, it was probably the right decision, to be honest with you. The guy went right over the ball, over the top of his leg there, it was above the ankle level. So it really wasn't a very pleasant. But then, they play with 10 men and they get a result 3-1. So hats off to the youngsters. They're doing well. And we'll keep an eye on how their progress is there. So, yeah, it's great. And good to see.
Good to see.
Yeah.
And then I saw a young man, I think it's Dustin, Orlando Pirates, scored a brilliant goal. I don't know whether you saw it against Sundowns. It was a volley. Now the competition between him and Mbugazi. Mbugazi, that's my favorite player. He's so brilliant, that young man. But before that, Pete, just share with them the results for the PSL. These are the results as you can see them.
Yes.
Can you see?
Durban. Yeah, I can see them. Maybe just a little bit bigger there. So Friday, 31st of October, Kaiser Chiefs had a nice win there. That was a great goal. That one against Durban City. What a beauty that was, yeah. So yes, Durban City 0, Kaiser Chiefs 1. Suvelele 1, Sekhukhune United 0. That's a slip up for those guys.
Hey, those are our friends. All of a sudden they just go down.
Yeah. But hey, it's good to see that it's a competitive league,
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, we know the result there, Sundowns, Orlando Pirates. I have to make an apology for my prediction on Saturday, and probably yours as well, Saubrey.
Sure, we were wrong.
we thought Pirates were going to take that 1-0, but Mamelodi came back there, so good for them. Orbit College 3, Magesi 1, Polokwane 1, Richards Bay 1, Chippa United 0, Amazulu 3. And then on Sunday the 2nd, we had Galaxy 2, Stellenbosch 0, and then Golden Arrows 4, Marumba Gallants 0. That's a good win there. That last one, that Arrows there, they're banging some goals in these guys.
Orbit College, I think I need to talk about this. Pirates, they don't like this, but I'll have to talk about it. Saleng scored the goal. Maybe around 2 years. Saleng scored the goal, and then he was there. His presence was felt, and then the rumor still continued that he may go to Kaiser Chiefs.
Well, he's definitely going to Kaiser Chiefs in the next game because that's their next game. They play in Orbit College. Yeah?
So Chiefs fans won't be happy about the Pirates fans won't be happy because they don't like this idea. So they may join Chiefs. And
and then if you look at the league positions now, we've still got Mamelodi Sundowns on top there. I think Sekhukhune United still in second place, and then we've got Pirates and we've got Chiefs there on 19 points. But you see, again, if you look at that, wasn't a bad result for Pirate actually. That 1-1 draw, because it maintains the distance between the two teams, and in terms of games in hand, which is not points in the bag, it's quite possible if the results go the right way for Pirates, then they could go clear at the top there. And I just wonder, I mean, it's going back to the topic of the day, about the choices that the coach makes. If he goes top and, if things go well, will he be forgiven for leaving out some of the star players or rotating the star players at least? That's what he's saying. He doesn't want them to burn out. Yeah, it's a tough call. If you do that as a coach, you might get the
that's a tough job being a coach, eh? Very tough. Very tough.
And you might also get discontent in the dressing room as well, because your guys, all the guys want to play.
And how do you achieve that? How do you achieve that? It's not possible.
Well, you have to rotate.
Yeah. It's only
and
Pep.
Normally
Pep asked the player, said, "Hey, are you Messi? If you're not Messi, shut up." It's only.
But the thing is, if you look at other teams, they rotate the players. When they're playing, and I don't want to make this sound bad there, but a lesser team. Like say for example in the Carabao Cup, as soon as the star players, if they are playing, score. I saw that again on Saturday with Man City, their 3-1 win against Bournemouth at home. Haaland wanted to stay in and try and get his hat trick because he scored the first 2 goals there, and he was taken off, and you could see he wanted to stay on.
Yeah, sure. Like all players, they want to stay. Yeah, like all players. Yeah.
But he's taking him off because on Wednesday we play Dortmund in the Champions League there, so he's saving the players there. So no, and I think maybe where Pirates are coming from there, this is not a minor game that was played against Mamelodi Sundowns there. So maybe they wanted the best players to play, and I can understand that as a fan. I can.
I left this open because I wanted to tell you about Amazulu. Where are they in the log? Amazulu, the coach.
Let's see. I just have to bear with me a second. Yeah. Where are they in the log?
Yeah.
I think I've got okay, so Amazulu are the fifth. Now, and if you look at their they play 10 games and they got 18 points, so they're just behind Pirates and Chiefs there. And the last 5 results are, starting with the one that they played earliest, was a win, a draw. They lost. I can't remember who they lost against now in that particular case, but they won. So out of a potential 15 points, they've taken 9, 10. So it's
the reason why I want us to talk about Amazulu, the coach is a very good friend of mine from a long time. While he was still playing for Cosmos, no, we're not friends when he was playing for Cosmos. I've been a Cosmos fan. I started befriending him once he played for Tembisa Classic. So we kept being friends. He used to come here by my place here. We've been talking myself and, hey, man, I must come and see, because his mom is still alive, to come and see his mom and the family there in Pimpville and so on. And one of the reasons why I've decided to hang in there, remember he was with Chiefs, all right? They let him go. And now guess, the beginning of the season, as Amazulu, they offloaded many players. And I was wondering, what is Arthur doing here? Offloading many players, okay? And then they bring other new players. And I listened to Ronald McQueen at some point. He said, you know what? Immediately Chiefs, after appointing Arthur, I knew that now we are in for a game. He said, Arthur is a very good coach. That was Rulani. He said, I've played against Arthur in the township football. He loves football. He can scout players. So that is the reason I said, hang in there. Apart from him being a friend of mine, but good luck. Well done, 10-111. This is brilliant. Apart from that part, I'm saying You have Rulane, who's now in Saudi Arabia, who said, hey, don't underestimate Arthur. And he was not doing bad at Kaiser Chiefs. Then they offload him, and then I looked at them, they release players then, and look what they're doing. So, yeah. Now, let's go to our topic. Is Pirates coach on the right track to rotate players? He gives reasons that the players will reach burnout and Pirates will be facing so many tough games going forward. So as a result, he said, no, I need to rotate them. And this young man that I was talking about, he's 18 years. Did you see the goal that he scored? The volley, dancing, something like that. Oh, that goal. I saw even Mbule was shocked, He could not believe his eyes. Because that was a brilliant goal. So that goal is in competition together with Mbugazi's goal, who just immediately after jumping the center half, then he kicked a scorcher. And then they ended up. Yeah. So what's your take about that? Are Pirates fans really justified? Or is the coach correct to say, look, man, we need to rotate players. There's a long way to go. We are still going to play CAF. There's a league. We're in tournaments and so on. So the players reach burnout. So what's your take?
Well, if you look at the fixtures that they're going to play, I mean, basically they've been playing every 3 days or so, or they're going to be playing for the next. So it's quite frequent games anyway, whichever way you look at it. So you can't. You have to rotate, I think, at one other stage. The question is, do you rotate in a top fixture like that? And I think most Pirate fans would agree that you've got to rotate. But do you rotate your star players, leave them on the bench there? When you're playing a top side like Mamelodi Sundowns, I just know the Pirates wanted that game. They wanted to beat them.
And guess what?
I think
Guess what? Mbule wanted to beat Sundowns because he's from Sundowns.
Yeah.
You see, that's another thing. That's another psychological defeat that you injected. So if you take him out in such a game, I'm sure he wanted to show them one or two things. Now you decide not to play him, but we don't know. We are not coaches, Yeah, and then they were complaining about Mabasa and Mbata that they're not playing, and now the question is he wrong or right? But my question again is, why Mabasa is Hugo Bros not playing him? Hugo Bros is not selecting him, all right? So what is it? Is it a coincidence that the two coaches think alike? You see, or is that this justified? Well, I'm not sure. As Buccaneer out there, tell us, what do you think?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, because the other thing, Pete, this is what I'm saying. If they win, what is the problem?
I still say it's a good result anyway. Whether you rotate players in the top, your top players in the top game, that is maybe what's got the fans, up in arms. But it's still a good result, eh? A 1-1 draw is still a good result. And if he can manage, and it's being a coach is all about managing that team and the team's expectations, and even the fans' expectations.
Exactly.
And you can't exclude the club's expectations as well. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a chore. It's a tough job.
It's a real tough job. Now,
and you know what? You'll never please everybody all the time, eh? Yeah. That's a fact of life.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, if you're going to be held accountable for what you produce,
then you're going to follow the sword. You're going to follow the sword.
Yeah.
I might as well decide what I think.
Exactly. You pick your sword, sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's not being picked for it. I mean, Hugo Bros, we've spoken about him, many a time on the show, and he does exactly that. So. Yeah, sometimes you're not going to be popular as a coach, eh?
Yeah, it's like you said about Pep. He took out Haaland, and Haaland was not happy. Pep knew why is he doing that, So
he was bagging him and making sure he wasn't injured for this week's fixture playing Dortmund in the Champions League. There, you could see as soon as the game was in control, yeah, then he rotated his players quite a bit, and he brought on Rodri, which is good to see. Rodri came back in, and the third goal was scored by what's his name again? I'll come back to that anyway. But one of the players I've been saying is impressing me. Matheus Nunes. Matheus Nunes scored quite a nice goal there for the third one. Yeah.
And you guys are not bad because you are there.
We're in second spot now, yeah.
Yeah, so you're not bad.
Liverpool back to winning ways as well.
Well, they're big teams. Big teams, they'll always get back to the winning games. This is what I've shown that Pirates have filed the complaint with CAF against their match with Lupopo. The complaints is in relation to the coach, Guy Bukasa, and the player, let's see, my eyes again, and the player Mbule and Kashata. So, well, apparently, Lupopo, they've received the letter confirming that, what do you call
complaint.
Yeah, so maybe as we're talking about the CAF, maybe Pirates might sneak in there. You know, Tabinho, he reminded me this morning, not Tabinho, Taborama, he said, remember 2016, Mamelodi Sundowns sneak in via the back door. So maybe it will happen this time. We'll watch the game very closely.
But that decision must be coming soon. I think they have to do it within 5 days, is it, or something like that? If I remember correctly,
they gave them 5 days, so they must decide as a matter of urgency. But the performance of CAF since Motsepe took over has gone high, which is quite good. Now, Pete, cricket, what happened? Tell us the story.
Yeah, well, we say it's a sports forum and not a soccer forum there. So just want to report back to the guys that the ladies, the South African ladies team, had a fantastic win against the English ladies team in the semi-finals. But unfortunately, on the 2nd of November, they played the Indian women and they lost by 52 runs, which is a bit unfortunate there. So India batted first. And they scored 298 runs for 7 after 50 overs, and then the South African women were batted out for 246 after only 45.3. So in terms of runs, the South African ladies were on it, but unfortunately the wickets were the ones that let them down there. They didn't have enough team members left in order to achieve that 294. So 52 run defeat. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there, but
you know what? You know what you call India? They are the Brazilian of cricket. India and Pakistan, those are the teams in the cricket world. I don't know what happened to where Lara used to play. Still remember Lara?
Yeah, West Indies. Brian Lara.
Yeah, Brian Lara. Well,
they seem to. They're not the team that they used to be.
Yeah, a very old friend of mine, Dr. Alibaha, would have loved me to doing this because he has been trying to woo me to love cricket. But I must say credit to him. Some of us, we didn't like cricket at all. And then he has been crisscrossing the country, schools, talking cricket, schools, and so on. I ended up understanding what cricket is. I could not understand the thing. I was saying, what's happening? They talk about 6-4. Yeah. You know what? I could not understand it, but now, and once you watch cricket and understand it, you'll enjoy it. You can spend the whole day. That's one game. It's like golf. You can spend the whole day watching, and you end up not.
Well, you can spend 5 days watching it if you watch a test match.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
those are I mean, a 5-day test match is really for those enthusiasts. Let's put it that way. But for
Mm.
any of the members or viewers that would like to get into cricket, maybe to have a look at the T20. It's
The
20
T20.
overs.
Yeah.
It's very exciting stuff,
Mm.
and there's a lot of interest in that.
Mm.
Let's put it that way, because it's fast. It's a
Mm.
bit like rugby union versus rugby league.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
But
the
but the
rugby
way
league
they
game's a lot
position them,
faster.
sorry, Pete, the way they position themselves, I think that was well by playing in December. Remember during olden times, PSL December wasn't there.
Mm,
It was only the English team was there. The Italians were also not the present during December time. But now the association have changed now. PSL is available in December. Even New Year's
yeah.
Eve, they play games, So that's
Well,
when now.
I believe in the English Premier League, and I've still confirmed that, but I believe they're going to be playing matches on what's traditionally known as Boxing Day or
Mm,
Family
mm,
Day, as we know it out, yeah.
mm,
And I think they stopped that at one stage, but
mm,
it looks to me now like on Family Day this year, the 26th,
mm,
um,
mm,
the day after Christmas, we're going to enjoy some Premier League football, I believe.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's going to be humdinger and watch. Pete, let's move on to the Messi special. I've been introduced the
What
books to
about
them.
before we do that, Saubrey, what about talking about the CAF draw?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. And then I thought I would look at it and get it. I don't have it with me. Yeah. Talk
I've
about
got it
it.
here for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so if we look at Chiefs, they've been drawn in Group D. And they will have to go past Zamalek,
Yeah.
Al Masry, and Zesco United. They're in the same group as us. So this is known now, or it's being known now as the group of death. So Chiefs are going to have to be on their best, to make it through there. And then if we look at Sundowns, they're in Group C, and they'll be matched up with Al Hilal, which we saw in the Club World Cup, TPMC Algiers, and FC friends FC Saint El Lipopo.
Lipopo, yeah.
Lipopo.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if they are not thrown out, as we are all praying for, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. So yes, it's going to be tough for Chiefs, I think, but eventually in these competitions, you're going to play the best of the best. So whether it comes early or whether it comes late, you've got to
When
beat
it
them.
comes late, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And I must be honest with you. I'm gonna share that with you, the draw, so that they can see it, because it's always better to see it.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? It's a very good thing for a team like Chiefs, all right, finding themselves, competing again in the Champions League. Whether they win or not, for me, I don't think it should be something that worries them as such. Well, of course, all teams they want to win, but the mere fact that they've qualified to CAF after such a long time,
Good news.
yeah, it's good news. And then
Yeah.
not only that, even on the home front, they're doing well. You said they're number 4, isn't it? So
That's correct.
yeah, that on its own, I think Chief supporters, they need to be patient with the team to say, look, we are getting there. So yes, we all want to win like everybody else. Like we're talking about the players. Every player wants to play, okay? No player doesn't want to play, all right? Every player wants to play. So you can't blame the players when all of them want to play. So it's natural. It's natural. So, like we were talking about Mbule, for instance, to say, Mbule was saying, look, he wants to prove a point that he's still, Sundowns made a mistake by not selecting him. I'm trying to share that pic of the one that you're talking about, so that at least when they talk, they see what we are talking about. So yeah, no player doesn't want to be benched, so that's reality. I don't know. Can you see that?
I can see your desktop, yeah. But yeah, there we go. No, not there.
Yeah, I was
Just
trying
make it a little bigger for us, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to sort this out.
There we
That's
go.
why I took longer,
There we go.
because I was trying to sort it out in the background while we were talking. Yeah, this is the teams that we're talking about. So Chiefs are there at which group?
Group D.
Group D.
No, they're not there.
No.
don't
This is
see them.
CAF. This is CAF. Remember, Chiefs is at.
Oh,
this is
yes, the
CAF
Conference
Champions
League.
League.
Yes,
Chief is CAF Cup. CAF Cup.
that's correct.
This is Champions League. You've got,
Correct.
yeah, we might as well talk about it, as they can see the groups there.
Yep.
Al Ahly is Al Ahly. They're playing Young Africans, ASFA, and then JSK. And then Mamelodi Sundowns, Group C, it's Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Hilal, and MC Alga. This is nice. MC Alga is coached by who? By Rolando Mokoena. All right. And then and then Group D, Simba is there. As you can see there, those are the teams. And Pyramid is one of the teams that is a problematic. Is on Group A.
Yes.
So Mamelodi Sundowns on Group C. And then I just want to see the game between Mamelodi Sundowns versus MC Alga. That will be very interesting.
Yes.
That will be a very, very interesting game. So we'll watch the game. That's the Champions League. Pete,
Yeah.
slowly but sure, let's move on to a quick one. What is your decision? Should the Pirates support the coach, or do you agree with what the coach is doing? Or what is your verdict on this one?
Yeah, I think look. Last year, if I think I'm making comparisons now. Last year, if I thought, I saw what Pep was doing. I mean, we had a pretty bad, horrendous season for City standards last year, Man City, that is. And yeah, I was thinking, and many times when I watch the games, I'm thinking, why is he taking this one off, or whatever the case may be. So it's natural for the players, for the fans to want to see the game that they want to see. But again, it's out of our hands. It's within the coach's hands. And, with a bit of patience there, based on last season, I think we're now in second. Yeah, as I was saying, if you compare what's happening with the Pirates coach, and I relate it back to Man City's coach last year, Pep Guardiola last year, we had, by comparison, a pretty poor season by City standards. But, still at the end of the day, we qualified for the Champions League, and we qualified, and we made the FA Cup final and was beaten in the final by Crystal Palace, who, by the way, are really doing very well this season, as I kind of predicted towards the end of last season. So yeah, I think the Pirates fans got to be a little bit patient with the coach. Give him a chance. Sometimes we don't always see what the reasons, why they do these things. But yeah, I would give him time. Give him time. As I say, it was a fantastic result still against Mamelodi. They kept the distance between them. It was, it would have been a big gap had Mamelodi won, or it had. Well, conversely, it could have been better had Pirates won. But I think be satisfied for now, and let's give him a chance. Remember, if you remember at the beginning of the season, the Pirates fans were complaining about the selection of the coach when he was called to the job. You know, and I think he's done a pretty good job so far. So I think this is maybe just another phase of his coaching style, which they've got to get used to. Yeah, give him space.
Yeah. Let's give him space and see and allow him. Remember, like we said, sorry, he's the one to fall on his sword. Let him select his sword to fall on it.
Correct.
We're complaining about the Rivero when he was here, then he proved us wrong. The same with Figo Bros. I too happy if Mbule not playing. But the reasoning it makes sense, because he says I don't want them to reach burnout. But my gripe was on the issue that I'm sure Mbule wanted to revenge. He wanted to prove a point against the former team, whom I'm sure he still has some grievance against. That's why did they let me go? You know how players are. They always want to prove a point playing with their former team. Now, let's go
There'll always be the second game, eh?
Yeah. Let's go to the Messi special, or before we go there, MLS. Remember I said, hey, tell me what's happening there. Because I see there's a whole lot of things happening down there. And give us the news. Let me share something quickly. Tell us what's happening.
There's a lot of confusion around how the MLS actually works. Could you make that maybe a little bit bigger? So at the end of the season, within the MLS, they have this. It's sponsored in this case by Audi. They have like a cup draw, and the way that it works is on the right-hand side, you'll see round one, best of three. If you look at the top right-hand corner, and that's replicated on the left-hand side, round one, best of three on the top left there. Now, what that actually means is that within the MSL, it's split into two conferences, as they call it, the Eastern Conference. So as you're looking at a compass, the East falls on the right and the West falls on the left. Well, similarly, they've arranged it exactly the same here. So the Eastern region's on the right-hand side and the Western Conference is on the left-hand side. Now, we were somewhat confused amongst ourselves, Saubrey, as to why is there a third game for these guys? So just to explain very briefly how this really works, you actually have 18 teams that qualify for this this knockout, if you like. You get 9 from the Eastern Conference and 9 from the Western Conference, and that's decided within their respective league tables. So the top 7 automatically qualify from each side, and then the teams that are placed 8th and 9th play off in what they call wild card matches. And then obviously the wild card play out, and there's certain rules without going into great detail there. But eventually it becomes a round one, which is basically where this table starts that you've got on display there. Every round one game will have a winner, no ties, no aggregate score. The matches will be hosted home and away format. And basically, if you're a top seed, you get the home match. Then the lower seeds host the second match, and so on and so forth. So depending on who you're playing, you've got to win 2 clear games. So if you play up, you'll play obviously home and away. And then if it's a draw at the end, which it is with Miami and Nashville at this stage, which is the bottom left-hand corner there, you'll see the draw second from the bottom. They drew. Miami beat them 3-1 in the last game, and Nashville beat Miami in the first game. So, as it says
they
here,
beat the second game. Nashville won the second game. Miami won the first game. We thought that maybe
maybe it was an aggregate score, but it wasn't.
The numbers of the goals will count. Yeah. Because if you look at the numbers, the goal is 4-3. Miami is really. They said no, win the game.
No. So if a match is tied at the end of the regulation, no extra time will be played. Teams will participate in kicks in the penalty. No, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one down now. So actually, what happens here is now, and you're seeing it now, is that this Miami-Nashville game that you see on the bottom right-hand corner there is the third game, because they drew 1-1 there in terms of games. And that will then take them, if you refer to the table at the top there, or the columns, it's the semi-finals thereafter. So whoever wins between Miami and Nashville in this particular case, and there's others obviously here, you can see, for example, that just above there, you'll see that Philadelphia are yet to be drawn against either. I'm not sure. It'll be New York City versus whoever CTL is, and they will go in the first semi-final, of which will be above the results of the bottom two teams that are playing off there. They will then play that up. It's pure knockout from there on, and then eventually you get the final of the Eastern team, which is on the right-hand side there, and you got the final of the Western team, and then whoever goes on to win that game plays in the middle on the bottom there. So you've got on the left-hand side, you'll have the Western team champions, if you like, versus the Eastern team champions, and then that's the playoff for the title of the cup in that particular case. So all said and done now, I hope I didn't confuse rather than clarify there for anybody that does watch, because we were confused. We talk about Miami, and then we saw these results, and then we thought, hey, how's this working? So we've looked at it a little bit differently there now, and hopefully we've clarified for any of the viewers that are interested in this. But if the game that's Miami and Nashville, as you can see there, it's not pretty clear, but that's to be played on the 8th of November. So basically, that second game in the top end of the draw will be played on the 7th. And then Miami, Nashville, and Cincinnati and CLB, whoever they are, will play on the 8th. And then, as you can see there, they'll go through to the next round, of which I think this is the semi-finals. I think they have
it will be the semi-final. If they go to the next round, it will be semi-final.
That's right, but I think those dates are actually known. Let me just check. The conference semi-finals are played on Saturday, November the 22nd, and Sunday, November 23rd. So if they follow the similar format that we've seen on that table, then whoever goes through from Miami and Nashville will actually play probably on that Sunday, the 23rd. And then the conference finals happen on the 29th of November. So the two finals from each conference, West and East. And then the MLS Cup final is played then on the 6th of December 2025. So it's a whole complicated way of getting to the final there, but it kind of makes sense once you really get your head around it, because there's quite a few teams in each conference there. So they have to get to a round of 16 basically, which is really what they've got there.
It helps.
Oh, this is actually quarterfinals, yeah.
It helps for us to understand, because remember at some point there was a ruling, a court ruling, when the Super Cup, remember there was a Super Cup that was supposed to have taken place, and then the UEFA was there UEFA or FIFA wanting to block them, not to continue. Then the matter went to court. Then the court in I think it's a Commonwealth court, something like that. Then there was a ruling that no, not FIFA is not having the monopoly of running football. People are allowed. So now, this is what MLS has done. I think is emphasizing on that because they have their own way of describing how you win and lose. All right. Remember, at some point there was this away rule goal introduced and so on. Theirs is now a little bit different. It's not about the number of goals, about the games you win. Even if aggregate score, you are leading, but if you haven't won enough games, in this case, 2 games, you don't proceed to the next round. Yeah, we'll watch the space. So those are the news that I have.
And I think, presumably, Saubrey, the winner of that cup is the one that will play in the Club World Cup.
Is the one who, yeah. Well, football it's you know it's becoming too complicated now, and you know that is why we are trying. Remember, with us is to teach, all right. As much as we share information, is to teach, because you learn also by observing how this happened. Now I understand why the Commonwealth Court was saying, no, FIFA, you don't have the monopoly over football. Anyone can come in and start his own competition. That's a different. Maybe they call it democracy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to move on, Pete, so that we close.
Yeah.
I just want to share a little bit something here. Messi's number 3, according to the best athletes. Michael Jordan is number 1. Muhammad Ali is number 2. Muhammad Ali, I will understand. He was a world phenomenon. Michael Jordan, basketball is largely in America, man. Largely in America, not all parts of the world, you know. And for me, if I compare the presence of Michael Jordan and Messi is worldwide. All right. And then have you ever seen a guy, a Pope, say, no, Messi, come and see me. The whole Pope, all right? And then apparently Ronaldo's mom made an appointment to ensure that they meet the Pope. I'm sure you can see what I've shared. So for me, but we don't know. Well, numbers help. That is why there were numbers, mathematics. Numbers separate, to cut this cake. So number 1 is Michael Jordan. Number 2 is Muhammad Ali, Lionel Messi. Muhammad Ali, even towards his twilight years, he was about, when he was about to go, he was still popular. I understand when he was walking the street, people would follow. Doesn't matter. Remember people like Nelson Mandela who used to like Muhammad Ali, and remember Nelson Mandela was a phenomenon by himself, So yeah, then Michael Phelps, that's another one that I don't understand. Michael Phelps was in swimming, but to make him to be in that group, Usain Bolt, yes, he has done well.
Was it Michael Phelps that has won something like
the swimmer
20? I think it was 23 gold medals, if I'm not mistaken. I stand corrected here, but he was phenomenal, this guy, in terms of swimming.
He was, but his presence, his branding, that's the question that I'm asking.
Sure.
You can't say Michael Phelps. If you compare his branding and Michael and Usain Bolt.
Oh, sure.
You see, Usain Bolt's branding is there, it's present. Roger Federer's branding is present. I don't know. Mike Tyson even today is still a phenomenon. I met him here at Emperor's Palace. Hey, that guy is huge, man, in real life. So huge,
It's like the rugby players when you stand next to these rugby players.
Yes,
Springboks and the like, I stood next to what was his name now? The New Zealand player that died. He was brilliant, man.
Don't tell me Lomu passed on.
John Olomo, that's it.
He passed on.
Yeah, he passed on years ago now. Yeah, I think he had a liver problem or a kidney problem, something like that. He was brilliant, man. But he was massive. I mean,
that's it. You know, he reminds me of the William guy in Cape Town. And Bretton Paulson. Hey, those guys were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I didn't love cricket. I mean rugby, but those guys, I knew them, man. They're brainy.
But
Now,
but now, before you move on there,
yeah.
you stand next to somebody like Bretton Paulson, who's, you know, on TV, he looks thin. You know, he looks a small player compared to some of the bigger ones that are on the picture. But these guys are huge. All of them are huge.
Yeah,
I mean, you cannot play rugby with those big guys and then they tackle you. I mean, they do that to me and you. We won't get up for a week.
Yeah, they finish us.
Yeah.
This is the goal that Messi scored. Look how many people were there defending his goal against Netherlands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Including the goalkeeper is 9. Almost everybody was at the back. Then he scored that goal. This man is a genius. He's something else. And I understand Mascherano is so happy that, guys, you give what Messi wants. Don't waste time. And then he said, if you don't give what Messi wants, I'm gone. I'm gone. So, hey, this man is a phenomenon. He's a phenomenon. Let me be nasty a little bit and do that comparison that you normally guys do, him and Ronaldo. You know what? This comparison sometimes, to me, it doesn't help. They are both phenomenal, okay? Look at this. These are the numbers. They are both phenomenal. Messi played 245 matches, scored 159 goals, 78 assists, and then contribution is 237. Ronaldo 251 more than Messi. The numbers again, all right, and then 158 goals. You see, all right, and then assist 36, and then goal and assist 193. While we are doing it for the sake of commercial, I think it's a commercial thing. This thing, this guy cannot be compared with anybody. It's true when they say he's new. You know, David Beckham. I listened to another podcast. Said this guy is going to play. He's not going to retire. He's going to play as long as he's still there. He's going to play. So he defies the odds in terms of the age. So he's something else. He's something else. And then the other thing that I'm sure Messi's wife likes the bodyguard. You know, when he goes and then they try to hug him, you move their hand nicely. Especially the female women fans, that guy will move them nicely away. This is why we love this guy. Is what is supposed to be done. Pig, thank you so much. Our fella, Sisonke, we are together. Onse Sam Rotle, sing where the beat goes on more. Thank you so much, Pete. And then beat the viewers.
See you guys. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers,
much
Saubrey.
appreciated. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you are already in the year 2025, and then you are asking yourself, what are you going to do? Some of you have been working for many years, and then now you are contemplating of either resigning or going on retirement. And it looks scary. You're not sure what are you going to do, how are you going to survive, you're worried about your pension, and so on and so on. Especially if you're a GPF member at the age of 55 and above, and you are in those situations. You are thinking, what's going to happen? Remember, the most important thing, you need to think about how can you save the little that you have, in terms of how do you avoid penalties? Because when you retire earlier than 60, you'll be penalized. How can you avoid that? Not to be penalized, not even a cent. You also want to make sure that you maximize in terms of the taxation. But get me right, tax applies to everyone. But you want to make sure that you are taxed as little as you can. And you want to do all those things. You need somebody who's skilled somebody who's trained to deal with finance, because tax avoidance is allowed. Because when you avoid tax, you use the tax law. Now, if you want to do that, to make sure that you save as much as you can, don't hesitate. Contact us, TBR Solution, or the BigR Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. And then just say, please, I want you to assist me. I want to go out. So come and share knowledge with me. Now, no obligation. You don't have to make any obligation. Just listen to the facts. After listening to the facts, make a decision. Can listen to us, can listen to others, then so that you're exposed to various information, so that when you make a decision, it's an informed decision. Now, my name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solution. Here I'm representing the BigR Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. If you want to know how to get hold of us, just look at the WhatsApp number, drop us your contact via WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.